Have you ever wondered about the man behind the infamous Dawn of Purvanchal, Bahubali Mukhtar Ansari? This personality, shrouded in mystery and controversy, has been a source of intrigue for many. Ansari, a name that sends ripples through the corridors of power in Uttar Pradesh, is a man of many facets. His tale is as paradoxical as it gets. On one hand, he's seen as a ruthless Bahubali, a term synonymous with muscle power and might in the Hindi heartland. On the other, he's hailed as a Robinhood figure, a beacon of hope for the poor and downtrodden. His enigmatic persona, coupled with his notorious reputation, makes him a subject of unending debate and discussion. But who really is Mukhtar Ansari? A savior for the masses or a symbol of lawlessness? As we peel back the layers of his life, you'll find that the answer isn't as clear-cut as you might think. Before we delve deeper, it's crucial to understand the man behind the headlines. Born in 1963 in Ghazipur, Uttar Pradesh, Ansari's life was far from ordinary from the very beginning. His family was no stranger to power, with connections deeply rooted in the political world of Uttar Pradesh. Yet Ansari's destiny was not to be confined to the corridors of politics alone. Raised in a well-respected family, young Ansari was privy to the tumultuous and often murky world of politics from a tender age. His early exposure to power dynamics and the intricate dance between law and power would later become integral aspects of his persona. But the young Ansari was not just a product of his environment. He was a bright student, pursuing his education diligently. He completed his bachelor's degree in science from the prestigious Kashi Vidyapith in Varanasi. This was a stark contrast to the path he would later choose, a path laden with power, influence, and crime. As Ansari grew older, the pull towards a life of crime became stronger. His first brush with the underworld came in the form of petty crimes. These initial forays were not driven by necessity, but by the allure of power and control. It was during this time that Ansari's name began to echo in the alleyways of Uttar Pradesh, marking the inception of a life that would defy norms and expectations. Despite his education and family's political standing, Ansari chose a path less traveled, a path that would lead him to become one of the most feared and revered figures in Uttar Pradesh. His life became a paradox, a blend of crime and benevolence that would baffle many. This was the beginning of a life that would become synonymous with power, crime, and paradoxical benevolence. Ansari's rise to power wasn't sudden. It was a carefully calculated ascent, marked by ruthless ambition. In the world of crime, the name Mukhtar Ansari rings with a certain degree of infamy. It's a name that has been etched into the annals of India's underworld. His journey from a small-time thug to a notorious don was not a matter of chance, but a result of relentless ambition and a thirst for power. Navigating the perilous waters of the underworld, Ansari expanded his criminal empire, leaving a trail of blood and violence in his wake. His activities ranged from extortion and kidnapping to land grabbing and contract killings. He was a man who knew no fear, no limits. The more audacious his crimes, the more his power and influence grew. But Ansari's ambition was not confined to the shadowy corners of the underworld. He sought legitimacy, power in the public sphere, and found it in politics. His entry into the political arena was as strategic as it was audacious. It was here that he found a platform to exert his influence, to extend his reach. In the Purvanchal region, Ansari's power was unparalleled. He was a name that commanded fear and respect in equal measure. His influence was not just limited to the criminal underworld, it extended to politics, to the people. He was a force to be reckoned with, a man who held the reins of power in his hands. His rise to power, however, was not just a story of ambition and ruthlessness. It was also a narrative of survival, of a man navigating the treacherous waters of crime and politics, always staying a step ahead of his adversaries. This journey, however, was not without its share of controversy and bloodshed. His story is a reminder that power, whether in the underworld or in the hallowed halls of politics, always comes at a cost. With power came notoriety. Ansari's name has been linked to numerous criminal cases, even as he navigated his political career. His story takes a darker turn as we delve into the myriad of charges that have been leveled against him. From murder to kidnapping, extortion to organized crime, Ansari's rap sheet is as extensive as it is disturbing. His most notable case was the infamous murder of BJP MLA Krishnanand Rai, a crime that led to his arrest and a protracted legal battle. However, even behind bars, Ansari's political career did not cease. In fact, his influence seemed to grow. He was elected as a member of the Legislative Assembly from Mau constituency in Uttar Pradesh, not once, not twice, but 5 times in a row. He even formed his own political party, the Qawmi Ekta Dal, which later merged with the Bahujan Samaj Party. But here's where the story gets more complex. Despite his criminal charges, Ansari has cultivated a reputation as a Robin Hood figure among the poor. Known for his philanthropic activities, he has built schools, hospitals, and provided financial aid to the needy. This image has earned him a loyal following among his constituents, who view him as a protector and a benefactor. However, his critics argue that these acts of charity are merely a smokescreen, a way to legitimize his criminal activities and maintain his grip on power. They contend that his philanthropy is funded by the proceeds of his illicit activities, a claim that Ansari vehemently denies. This dichotomy, this contrast between the feared gangster and the revered politician, the accused murderer and the alleged Robin Hood, is what makes Ansari such an intriguing figure. It's a stark reminder of the complex realities of politics and crime, of power and influence, and how these dynamics are played out in the public sphere. The dichotomy of Ansari's life, a feared gangster and a revered politician, is what makes him an intriguing figure. Despite his notorious reputation, Ansari's impact on the Purvanchal region is undeniable. His legacy, much like the man himself, is a study in contrasts. To some, he is a feared criminal, a symbol of the lawlessness that once gripped the region. To others, he is a Robin Hood-like figure, a champion of the downtrodden, credited with bringing about significant changes in the lives of the poor. Ansari's influence extends beyond the realm of politics and crime, reaching deep into the socio-economic fabric of Purvanchal. His initiatives in education, healthcare, and infrastructure development have left an indelible mark on the region. Schools, hospitals, and roads, built under his patronage, stand as a testament to his commitment to the development of his constituency. Yet his legacy is not without controversy. His Robin Hood image has been hotly debated, with critics arguing that it is a carefully crafted persona designed to mask his criminal activities. They point to his numerous criminal charges as evidence of his true nature, asserting that any good he may have done is outweighed by the harm he has inflicted on society. The public's perception of Ansari is equally divided. While his supporters laud his efforts to uplift the poor, his detractors condemn his alleged criminal activities. This dichotomy in public opinion underscores the complexity of Ansari's character and the controversy surrounding his legacy. In the final analysis, Ansari's legacy is a reflection of the complex socio-political landscape of Purvanchal. It is a legacy marked by power, fear, and a paradoxical benevolence. Despite the controversy that surrounds him, his impact on the region is undeniable and his influence continues to be felt to this day. Bahubali Mukhtar Ansari remains a complex figure, a symbol of power, fear, and paradoxical benevolence. So, who really is Bahubali Mukhtar Ansari? A feared gangster, a political force, or a Robin Hood for the poor? We've journeyed through the enigmatic life of Ansari, from humble beginnings to a rise in power that few could have foreseen. We've delved into his criminal charges, a murky world of accusations and alleged deeds that paint a picture of a man who was no stranger to controversy. Yet, we've also seen his political life, his influence on the region, and the legacy he left behind. Ansari was a figure who commanded respect and incited fear, a man who held sway over the eastern Uttar Pradesh region like few others. He was a paradox, a man who was as much a product of his environment as he was a shaper of it. Was he a ruthless gangster, exploiting the system for his own gain? Or was he a political force, using his power to bring about change in a region that so desperately needed it? Or could he have been a Robin Hood, a beacon of hope for the poor and downtrodden? The answer, perhaps, lies in the eye of the beholder. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning,